Hey guys, my name is Ruben Phoenix and welcome to the Structure of Man Learn to Draw the Human Figure from Your Mind training course. Okay, so in the previous lesson we looked at really the three-dimensional understanding that we needed about the ulna and the radius. So now we're going to look at the formula so we can begin to grasp how to be able to draw this. Okay, so to start out, what we're going to do is just basically draw out our rectangle, long rectangle that's going to go down in this way over here, just about here, and then here we'll do this one over here, right? So this is going to be the forearm now. Basically, it's going to follow the same concept as before as we did for the humerus bone. We're just going to divide it up like this, right? So and here we'll just make a center line to understand, right? So over here, I'm just going to add on top just this piece over here coming from the humerus bone over here, so we can begin to understand this, right? So this part we already knew that. If we go back to our ideas, right, when we're drawing it out, we're going to get this nudge over here, right? So this is an important point on the humerus, that this is the funny bone area, right? And over here we're just going to get a bigger version of this, and we knew that this is just going to go up over here about its business going upwards. Over here we had stated that, okay, you're going to get like this idea here, you're going to get this, and it's just going to come over here, right? It's a very basic conceptual idea. So to understand about the radius and the ulna is that we're now going to take a look at this and see, okay, how would this work? Well, basically all we need to do is now understand, okay, well, look at how we had designed it originally. We really just put it over here, right? Knowing that the back end of this is going to be going much more up, right? It has to feed into it, right? Just understand that it has to feed into it, and then it's going to basically come down over here. So it's going to be just like this, coming down over here, and then when it gets over here, we said that we're going to turn it in just like this, right? We're going to turn it in, and when it stops, it's going to stop a little bit above over here. It's not going to go all the way down, okay, to the, this is the end of, see where I'm drawing this? It's actually edged up to the camera here. So here I'm just going to draw that here so you can see it. It's right there where my pencil is. We're going to just draw it like this, and this is just going to come in this way over here, and it's going to turn and go like this, right? So this is the most basic concept to understand. Just knowing that over here, inside here, in the back of it is where you're basically getting that nudge here, where this ulna is going to be fitting, right? So we know from the previous drawing over here, this is where we have to now start to think about our invention a little bit more. We know that this here, where we put it, we kind of like put it in the center, right? So meaning that this guy here really should be coming a little more kind of like this, a little wider over here, right? Conceptually, just understanding this part. Okay, so here we can now get that bone across. Right, it's very easy. So we're just going to do it this way, knowing that it comes up a little bit over here. So the radius is going to be very simple. It's obviously going to be sitting over here, right? And the radius, we said, is you're going to get like the cylinder shape, and then this cylinder shape is now going to twist in a little bit, and it's going to be like this, but now we're going to curve it in this way because it needs to become more wider, right? So it's basically just going to be this way, and then it's going to come this way, right? This is the most basic idea we need to get from this. So remember that this guy here is up against this here, right? It is up here, right, against it, and this is below, so it's just over here, right? So once we have this, we can now just erase these lines over here, and now create it in a much more nicer way, that this is going to be the radius over here. It's just going to go like this, and this one here is coming this way, and it's going to go over here like this, right? And this will help us to understand what's going on. And this again over here, going above, is the humerus bone, right? So basically, you're just going up against it, right? So this area here, you can just imagine this just going to be over here, right? So what I'm talking about over here, this line, is this, that it's this little nudge that we put later on over here, right? Because it has to be able to turn on this. It's going to be turning on this to get that fluid motion. Okay, so since we have this done, what we can do now is start to look at the other part of really the back view of the bone structure over here. So for this, I'm going to just put it I guess right across here, because we understand like the bone structure would be here, right? So over here, let's say if we put it up against this over here, I'm going to go down like this, going to go down here again like this, just understanding you're just going to flip the things around over here, right? So basically what's going to happen is it's going to be flipped, right? So now we're looking at it from the back. So in order for this to flip, what we need to do is first understand, okay, if this is going to be flipped, we know that we're going to get that funny bone over here. It's going to go this way, and then we're going to get that idea here that we talked about. It's just going to be like this over here, and then it's going to go about its business over here. So this is the humerus bone. So now what happens is, now we can start to understand the ulna from here, that really what it was doing, it's trying, remember there's a this thing here, this nudge, right? So this, in this nudge, is going to be fitting over here, and it's going to go like this. So it's basically over here in this side, but here we can see from the back. So this is the design for where your elbow is going to be, right? This is what causes the elbow. It's like you could put like this line here, right? So this, we know, okay, this makes sense. This is basically just going in this way over here, and we know that it's just going to turn in again and go like this, right? There's really nothing more to this than just understanding how this locking system is working. And then we know that on the other side, we can't really see too much of it, is the radius, and the radius is going to be, again, nothing more than this going in this way, and it's just going to come over here in this way, right? So here you could come down in this way, and then make this guy go over here. Then here we can make it a little better in the design. So I'm just going to erase some of these lines here, just to get this concept understood. Okay, so this is just going like this over here, and I'm going to get my ulna over here, and then on that side here, I'm just going to get the radius bone, right? So this is the area that we were talking about, that this is the outer, this is the funny bone area, right? And this is going to be outer part, and because of that, the radius is inside, right? It's on top of this. You're going to get that area here, that nudge that you see on the right. If the forearm muscles are going to be like this, right? Your forearm muscles are going to be going in this direction. You're going to get this nudge here in the forearm, and that's what causes it. I'm just going to clean that up real quick. Okay, so now we understand how this is all working from that end. I'm just going to clean this up real quick. Okay. So now let's just look at this of understanding it. Well, what would happen from the side view, right? So really, to get that concept, here's the humerus bone that we had talked about, and I had put some additional designs here, help you to understand this. Basically, we know that the humerus bone is going to be like this, right? So obviously, if we had to draw this out and say that, okay, let's say that this is going to be now my humerus bone going in this direction, I'm going to make it go this way, right? So it's going to go down this way, and then it's going to curve in and go this way, right? All this should be just very simple to do freehand. We're going to get the humerus bone in this direction. Let's say the arm, we're looking at the human figure from the side. So if we now think about this, okay, I see. This is really the elbow over here, and this is going to be my ulna, just going in this direction, right? Because it has to be flat over here, right? And then the bone over here, which is the radius, is going to now go down this way, right? Depending on which way the hand is. Obviously, this means that the thumb would have to be here, meaning that it would be like a palm system over here, going in this direction. Okay, so here to show you this a little more up, that's all that's going on over here, right? I got my radius over here, and it's just going to come down. I'm going to make it like this, right? It's a very simple concept to get, but understand about how the elbow system is working, and this nudge over here, right? You're going to get that when you put the muscles on. And this is, let's say, the palm of the hand going this way, and the arm is just going in this way, right? So the thumb would be on the side of the radius. Okay, so here we can just clean this up a little bit and just begin to grasp this concept here. It's just over here going like this. Right, I got my humerus bone, and over here I'm going to get the radius. So here I'm just going to make it like this. And over here, this is going to be the ulna, going in this direction. Okay. Okay, so I'll see you in the next lesson. Thanks.